y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou.
Quite a mouthful.
You know.
And I'm cpredmor on Ravelry.
Says the woman who was convinced I wasn't going to be able to say my own name. So.
Well, you know,
you did give me,
and said,
you gave me a 4-syllable name.
And then went, Ebeth! And I'm going, we're getting there. We're getting there.
We got there.
And I post on Instagram as Knitting in Our Jeans. I actually was going to post my progress on the Christmas present today, but I got so excited that I had reached a new part that I decided to keep knitting instead of taking pictures.
That's fine.
Guess I probably should take a picture and send it down to Sarah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I will report what I've done and share you. I'm quite pleased with myself.
So how do we want to handle this? Do we want to do Advents first, or do we want to talk about what we're working on and then do Advents?
Whatever you want. Your Advents are out, so why don't you start off with your Advents?
All right, we'll start out with Advents.
I'm incredibly jealous, but I also don't need
this
yarn.
Yeah. So, speaking of Advents, I'm working on my Jigshawl, which is using the Earl Grey Fiber Co. yarn from the Great British Bake Off box from last year, so 2019.
Very nice.
And I'm on section 6. And I don't know. We're going to see if I keep up with doing one section a day. It's not looking good, but we'll see. So, if you have...
Yes.
Oh! If you have any of our advent calendars and you don't want to be spoiled, probably fast forward, about 5 minutes?
I don't know.
We'll put it down. I'll put it in the doobly-doo down below, what time the advent calendars end, in case you want to skip that, because you are not opening them right now. So I have, from Miss Babs, I have the Night Sky one. And so far, this is my gradient from me to mom.
Oh, nice.
Is the first 5 days. So.
A night sky. That actually looks like an ocean.
It will. It will. We're getting there. So today's is a bit more teal. More turquoisey and tealy.
They're very pretty.
They are very pretty. So I'm not quite sure what this is going to grow up to be.
I couldn't hear what you said.
Yes, watch as occasionally.
I'm not sure what this is going to grow up to be yet. I'm thinking it might be a cardigan or a sweater of some sort, just because it is such a good fade.
Gradient, yeah.
And it's such a good fade. I might do that. And then for Indian Tangled, we have 3 Irish Girls in
nice.
Tits Up, which is based on Miss Maisel. Then this is by Creo Yarns. I can't remember the colorway right now, but it's by Creo.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Then this is Fairy Tale Yarn Co.
God bless you.
In, I don't know the color, but it's fun. And then this is a Deneagle Tweed from Mitchell's Creations. And then this is a Practicality Mini in the colorway Pandora from Marinated Yarns.
Very
nice. So pretty.
It's a nice deep color.
Yeah. And then I think this is not yarn today. Oh, it's from One Geek. It's from Marsha.
Ah!
Aww.
That is so sweet.
So, stitch markers with her signature yarn skein marker.
Very nice.
Yeah. Nice little ring as well.
Yes.
Very excited.
Good job, Marsha.
Yeah. I'm very excited about that. So those are my 2 Advents that I brought with me. I also have a self-striping one that I have made this sock out of so far. It's from a friend of her, leftovers. So this was day 1. This was day 2. This was day 3, and then day 4. Day 5 is here.
Oh, nice.
And I'm trying to decide, so this was 4 days. What I'm thinking is I could then get... So the question is, do I do it where I make 2 more... Oh, and I have the other... Like, I only used half of the mini skein to make these, so I will have a matching other side sock. Because I didn't want to have a whole bunch of mismatched socks.
Right.
Even though they're a little wacky because they're multiple self-stripings together, I felt better with that than completely mismatched. 6 is right here.
I was looking for 2.
Oh.
This is what happens when I try to remain... I only have 4 here, so obviously there's 1 someplace. We'll find it. Don't worry.
So I was thinking that I could start looking into figuring out how to make knee socks. Oh, and also this is the vanilla reversed pattern. So I started with the toe and ended with the cuff. And I'm thinking if I were to do a knee sock, I might do the same kind of thing and do a toe up. And I really like the vanilla reversed because it's reversible with the heel. So if you don't like having the purl side on, like walking on the purl side, you can walk on the knit side instead.
Right. That's always a good idea.
Yeah. So I think I might make 1 more set of regular length socks and then start working on maybe some knee highs and see how long those go. Because I think getting as many socks will be nice, but I think also knee highs would be kind of really
I think
fun.
Lovely.
So I think 1 more pair. So if I go to the 10th, then I have 15 days of minis to do knee highs, which I think will be more than enough for a pair that might even be 2 pairs of
that I have.
Yeah. That might even be 2 pairs of knee highs.
That's a brilliant
because
idea.
I might end up with the knee highs definitely doing toes and heels and cuffs in coordinating skeins, not self-striping. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if I want to do all of them in the vanilla reversed or if I want to try another toe up sock, because I do prefer to knit toe up, just because... For me, it's easier because I usually like to have my socks be able to fold in half like this. So my leg ends up being as long as my foot is. But other than that, I think it's kind of personal preference of feeling like it feels like you are done faster. I know it's not the truth.
It's not the truth. What I like is that I can easily figure out where to put the heel.
Yeah.
The toe is done. I just put it in and I knit until I hit my ankle bone. And then I know it's time to put in my heel. We've talked about doing one with gussets. My gusset socks fit very well. It's a little bit more futzy. I do perfectly well with afterthought heels or heel that you take out the stitches of waist yarn after. And those socks fit fine for me. In fact, we have a book club at church and we're now reading a book by Bishop Michael Curry, and our book club meets on Thursday nights. And so I have started a new pair of socks.
They're over here. These ones?
Yes.
Your mustache.
Yes. So I realized that I have this mustache yarn that I showed you before.
You were winding it last week, weren't you?
I was winding it during book club.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Last week during book
club.
But
I got this much done. So
nice.
I wound it during book club and I got that much mustache of a sock done. And they are set into 2 50-gram balls. So what I'll do is I'll be doing 2 socks at a time once I get this up to 60 stitches. I know that my socks on a size 1 needle, 60 stitches to the round, makes a perfectly great sock for me.
Yeah, mine, the ones I just showed you all, these are on 2.5 and they're 64 stitches, only because I accidentally did an extra increase before counting. And so I think I might try and do a 60 on the 2.5s.
I just don't. I like a tighter.
It's because of getting it over my heel.
I understand. You could also do a bigger
needle at the heel.
Yeah. So try it.
I'm going to try it, I think, on the next sock. Obviously not on the second sock of the pair.
But the other reason I like toe-up socks is that I don't worry then about running out of yarn.
For the toe.
For the toe. And I know it's an irrational fear. I got that. But, you know, we each have different anxieties. Mm-hmm. And I find that knitting from the top down just makes me terrified that I'm going to run out of yarn. Mm-hmm. I hate running out of yarn. I truly hate it. So I like toe up because it gets rid of that one level of anxiety. And honestly, in this day and age, to be able to get rid of one anxiety, thumbs up for that. So anyway, that's something I have on the needles I really wasn't going to talk about. So one of our listeners, watchers, viewers, mentioned that she was also watching Time Team. Today, I watched one out of sequence because it came up in my YouTube feed, and it was about the Battle of Hastings. And my husband was putting up the Christmas tree, and he says, "You must be in seventh heaven." I mean, like, this is perfect. The Battle of Hastings, and they're going to go dig it up.
And then they referenced the Bayeux Tapestry.
Yeah, Bayeux Tapestry.
Which I'm pretty sure you all have heard us
discuss.
Something rhapsodic.
Wax
rhapsodic.
Yes, we've seen the Bayeux Tapestry. The Bayeux Tapestry is a 900-foot long by about 1.5 feet tall tapestry that is in the town of Bayeux in France. It was created in order to encircle the columns at the top of the cathedral in Bayeux. It was ordered by the Bishop of Bayeux, and you're probably wondering, why the heck would he want to do this? And the answer is he was the brother of William the Conqueror. William was the Duke of Normandy?
Yeah,
Duke of Normandy, they kept referring to him as. And they were talking about how they found a different place for the battlefield, just looking at the lay of the land. I found it a fascinating
it was really
session.
But Mom went out of order, which is part of the point.
It's going to be part of the problem. But I will watch it again because I really like history. And I like history when you talk about the stories of the people. Mm-hmm. And here, what I like about Time Team is they try to envision how one would live in those particular situations. And in this case, they were hypothesizing, if you were going to form a battle line, where would you do this? Mm-hmm. And what did we say? It was a battle wall maiden?
A wall of shield maidens?
Shield maidens. So one of the things I've learned on Time Team is that the Vikings fought using shield walls. So I have nothing to form a shield. Give me a magazine. Thank you. Okay. So you would have your shield, and you need a shield too.
I need a shield, apparently. Hold on.
So if you stand like this...
And you would interlock them.
You interlock them, and the people in back would then form a roof.
So it would be more like this, so that it would interlock like that.
It's very hard to get through that wall. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why the Vikings had been so successful in invading England. Because they had these really skilled battle techniques. Yeah. Well, it could be off. I'm a mouth breather, so my throat gets dry. I'm not sick. I'm just dried out.
And where Mom is going with this is that the person who made the comment asked, oh, but how are you, not going through all of them? How are you not done already? And it's because Mother has gotten to a point where she is very judiciously watching only one or two.
On a weekend.
Only on weekends.
I'm finding other things to watch. There was that show that we found that had originally played on the CW.
Oh, Mother has found Legacies, which, if you all know of the Vampire Diaries universe, it's in that universe.
So I guess
it's the most recent one. I don't think we have to, from what I've seen. I think we can get through the first season, and then we can decide if we need to watch the others.
Okay.
Because there's the Vampire Diaries, and then there's the originals, and then there's Legacies. And it's very
silly.
much a CW show.
It's silly.
I can see why it ran for why the Vampire Diaries and the originals ran for as long as they did, and I can see where this is going. And it's enjoyable in a
B- level.
Yeah, at a B- level, and so you know what?
Production
It's
values
2020. It's 2020. Embrace the fact
Weird.
that you might just want a B-level action supernatural show.
I've watched all the Dorothy Sayers movies that I can find. There's one that was made in the 30s about Busman's honeymoon that apparently was a British film. And on YouTube, I found a minute and a half,
it's the one that I
3.5
still
minutes.
can't find.
And I can't find the rest of the original. I would love to see that one. I've watched Gaudy Night. I can't tell you how many times till I could probably do the script from memory. And so I can watch classics. I do find that knitting I do pretty well watching the television. Now I also read. I've been reading so much on my iPad. I've been binge reading on my iPad and knitting that I got a crick in my neck last week. So now I realize I have to watch more television while I knit, so the neck is up instead of down.
Oh, my word.
Small problems. Really small problems.
First world problems.
Yes. Well, COVID problems.
COVID problems. Quarantining problems.
Well, we can talk about what we did today.
Well,
today
hold
we
on. You need to talk about your
sorry.
advent calendar.
So this was day one.
So this is by
Laviendole.
Laviendole, which is an Italian yarn company.
Yes. Laviendole. I like this one the best. This was day 3. And this is 4.
Ooh. I like where it's going,
and
though.
This is 5. These are the colors I don't do well with. It's like, these could be heels and toes.
Okay.
This I could mix with any number of things. I mean, I like speckles. And I can see where this would kind of all go together, but all of this together is not something I would wear.
But heels and toes. What is the...
Heels and toes.
It's wool alpaca mohair, so...
Oh, yeah, it's lovely yarn. It is absolutely...
Oh, got a stitch marker.
Yes, on the first one.
Aww.
It's really nice yarn.
So what's today?
Today is day 6. That's 6 right now.
Yes,
9.
that is 6. And if it's 9, you just open 6 on 9.
Right. This is more this is more me.
Yes.
So I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Now this I like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could do this. This is called Mercurio. This is Baki. I like that. And as we were talking last week, I want to like these colors. I desperately want to, but I really don't. And when it's in a sweater, I don't wear them. So I've gone through my drawer, my one sweater drawer. I have not been through the second one yet. And I found 2 more sweaters that I will be offloading. There's this one that you all saw me knit that I want to like, but it just does nothing. It's like, And it's a lovely lace at the top.
It's fond memories.
Yeah, it's just...
No, that's the pattern.
Yes, I know, but it doesn't warm my heart. So it's going. And then the other one I found in that drawer is this one, which is cashmere. Autumn Cashmere. And it's a regular store-bought sweater.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it doesn't do anything for me. So our church has a 50/50 shop, and I'm just going to donate them to the 50/50 shop. And I think this one, this is pure cashmere. This says professionally dry clean. I washed my cashmere. So, I'm going to tell them hand wash them or wash them on delicate and then spread them out to dry, and they will be fine. Yeah. So I like these 2 colors. Mm-hmm. I'm sure the other colors will be other parts of the rainbow, and I will be fine. This one I like.
That one is very you.
Yes, this one is very me. It's
the
just
others
these
can be
3.
Heels and toes.
Absolutely. So I'm very happy to be supporting an Italian independent dyer because they were on a discussion
With Indian Tangle.
with Indian Tangle. And I asked them, having been to Italy, I've been lucky. I've been to Italy, I think, at least 3 times, maybe 4 times. The last time I was there for almost a month. 2 weeks at a conference business function, which was about teaching. And then 2 weeks, Richard flew over and then met me. So actually, he flew over the second week.
Yeah, you were only there for 3 weeks, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a little longer, 3.5. Because
Maybe.
he flew over. He was there a week where I wasn't really seeing him.
Which was hilarious because he had just gotten his iPhone, so he was very excited to FaceTime me and show me his view. And of course, I'm at work, and everyone's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Well, my dad is just learning how to use his phone, so we're not gonna say that we can't like watch this. We're gonna watch this, okay? Like, you're gonna let me pick up the phone." And then the week after, when you guys went, actually, he butt dialed me.
From a train.
From a train or a car or something. He butt dialed me. So I'm then texting my parent because I'm in a building inspection. And I had already told them that I was going to be busy that afternoon with inspections. And my dad's calling me and not saying anything. I'm like, oh no. Did he lose Mom? Can he not find Mom? What's happening here?
Because he's done that before,
Yeah.
too.
And so I text Mom and I go, Mom, are you with Dad? Yeah, I'm with your father. Why? I go, I think he just called me. No, he didn't. He didn't take out his phone. Well, then he butt dialed me. And then I get a text message from my father going, why is your mother laughing at me? She won't tell me. She only says talk to your daughter. And so I told him he butt dialed me, at which point he goes, no, I didn't. Apparently later that evening, Mother showed him how to look through his calls, and he had butt dialed me. From Italy.
Yes.
While I was in a building inspection.
Yes. Anyway, I've been lucky to be in Italy several times.
Yes.
And during the time that I was in Rome, which was the first 2 weeks, we had free time. So I by this time was very much educated about the subway system. Still not good with buses in Italy. I'm not good with buses here. Who am I
You're
kidding?
not good with buses really anywhere, Mother.
I have to know exactly where they're going to go and the route and check everything. They really do make me...
You're very good with trains.
I'm very
buses,
good with trains.
not so much.
Not so much. So anyway, where we were staying, the mother house of the Christian Brothers is not very far from one of the subway stations on Aurelius, or near Aurelius Boulevard. So I got on the subway, I went into town, got lunch, and I had addresses for supposedly 3 different yarn shops, of which I could find one. So I bought a few things there. So anyway, I had asked Laviendole, what was it about yarn shops in Italy, because they're beautiful knits that come from Italy. And they go, yeah, they're very hard to find, and most of our yarn is exported. So
For commercials.
Right.
For commercial knitting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they've created their brand.
That's right. So I'm very happy to be supporting them.
Yeah.
That's really good. So, yeah.
So yeah, that's our, that
So
was...
do I wish I had more advent calendars? Yes, because I love the new colors as they come out of the bags.
Yes.
Do I need more yarn?
No.
No, I don't need more
You
yarn.
see this behind you, Mother?
Yes, I know I don't. That's why I didn't order anymore.
I know, I'm very proud of you.
Yes.
But I was gonna say something and I can't
Shall I show you what's on my
remember.
needles?
Sure.
Okay. So, here is the Rivel sweater. Not blocked. And I have finished
the body.
the body, yes. And I did a 3-needle bind off. Actually, I purled a 3-needle bind off so that it shows up very flat on the outside.
Nice.
Very pleased. It was one of those techniques where the shoulder is slanted towards the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sarah's
The fully fashioned shoulder.
Yes. I think it's a semi-fully fashioned
Okay.
shoulder, but, so I counted, so my back, because of using short rows, the back shoulders were slanted downward. So I counted the number of stitches that was. That was 16 on each side. And then I looked at my fronts, and luckily they were 16 stitches too. So I picked up the 16 stitches there and then did a 3 needle bind off. And now I've got the fronts all together. 2 less seams to worry with.
Yeah.
So I have started on the sleeves.
Nice.
They're knit flat, 2 at a time. So I'm doing them 2 at a time. And my niece just texted me.
She did.
Yes, with her armpit down to her wrist.
Because previously she had sent top of shoulder to wrist.
Yes. So she's in between you and I.
Not shocking.
Yes, so...
She's between you and I in height, too. Oh, no, she's
no,
not.
she's not.
Oh, she's a long bean.
She's got 20 inches.
Interesting.
And I do 18
you do
or
18,
19.
and I do 20 to 22.
Right. So anyway, now I have that, so I know how far I have to go to get to the cap. I'm just now starting the stockinette stitch portion of this. So this next row, I will add 2 stitches.
Is there ease in this, by the way? Is there any ease at the armpit? Because that'll decrease the amount of length you need at the arms, just so you know. Because I just realized, because a lot of and because when, like, sweaters like this fit me in the arms, but these are, I think, 18s, but that's
I might do 18 inches, because this, which is in my lap, because it comes down.
Yeah.
That's I already thought about that.
Oh, okay.
So that's a full armhole.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there it goes. Now, remember that there is at least a 3-inch button band
on either side
that goes all the way around. It
Yep.
covers the entire outer edge of this. And I may make it 4 inches just to make sure that it acts as a duster. So it's coming along. This is made out of 50% wool, 50% cotton, I believe, or 60% wool, 40% cotton.
Which is great, because she's now down in Miami.
Exactly. And so I do know that Miami gets cold on occasion. So that's why the little bit of wool will be good. I think it'll serve. And obviously I will block it to the proper size. I'm very pleased with the cable.
The cable looks great.
That is running up the back. There you can see it.
Yeah.
Which is mirrored with the cable that's there in the front.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. Very, very pleased. So, hopefully I can finish the sleeves this week and do the button band the following week. If really lucky, I can finish everything this week and then mail it off. I'm hoping to get it done by the 15th. That's really my goal. So it needs to be done at least by the 13th in order to block it and get it dry and then mail it. And I have to check with my brother to find out whether she's going to be staying in Miami or whether she's coming home to Virginia. In that case, I'll mail it to Virginia.
I think she's going home.
That'd be nice.
Well, because she has enough time.
Right. She's got,
like a month and a half or 2.
Yeah, because the schools are ending early and going back late because of COVID. And so I'm hoping that all works out. So but I'm moving along on this now.
You are.
I have to tell you that I didn't do any counter cross stitch this week. And I don't feel bad about that. And I'm sure some of you are going, but that's your mother's Christmas present. Well, it was going to be my grandmother's Christmas.
I didn't realize we were reaching out to you for part of Nan's gift.
My niece reached out to me.
Huh?
Said that her parents were getting involved in this too. And I said, sure, put me down. And she told me how much it was per week. I said, well, put me down.
What we're doing is we're getting my grandmother a microwave meal delivery service because she loves to cook, but she doesn't when it's just her.
Right. When my father was alive, even though she moaned and groaned about having him around the apartment because he was getting to be difficult. He had Parkinson's and he had the dementia that is sometimes associated with Parkinson's. My uncle had Parkinson's, but he didn't have the dementia, so it just goes. So my mom would cook every day while Dad was home, but since he's passed on, she's not cooking, and in fact, she was eating out of cans, which it's not terrible. I mean, honestly, when we're on the boat, I eat out of cans too. I have a whole cookbook that has recipes on how to, cook a really, really nice dinner out of canned ingredients, because you don't have to worry about refrigeration. I've had, brought tiny canned hams. You can get a 1 pound canned ham. I mean, that's great. You cook it for dinner, and then you have ham for sandwiches afterwards. And breakfast with your eggs. I get canned clams. I get crab meat. I get, obviously, there's tuna fish. But my mother wasn't doing that. She was just kind of picking a can out of the cupboard. So we decided that this would be one way that we could make sure that she was getting balanced meals.
Because we can't take her out to eat anymore.
Right.
Or until the vaccine is widely distributed and all in the family have it and everyone that we are aware of, until it's widely distributed.
She's 92.
And taking her to a restaurant is safe again.
Right. And one of her greatest loves is going out to eat.
Yes.
And it's not that she's lost her appetite. Because, boy, when she's in the restaurant, she's almost licking the plate. Yeah. So, in fact, Rich, your father, volunteered to drive us down 2 weeks ago. If you want to see your mother, I said, and what am I going to do? Wave to her from the street? No, that's the point, that people are getting in trouble with family gatherings when you're not in their bubble. And living in New York, I'm not in her bubble.
Definitely not.
I will say that when they call me to say that I can have the vaccine, I'm going to be there to take the vaccine. Richard said there's not a medical procedure that I've met that I haven't liked. So
he's not wrong.
No, that's true. But the knee was a problem, so I had that taken out. The gallbladder was a problem, I had that taken out.
The sinuses were a problem, you had those taken care of?
That's right. The lenses clouded up.
Yeah, you had the cataracts
taken out. So
if it doesn't work for her, she just has it removed.
Yank it out.
But so we had talked about it, the grandkids. And so I didn't realize that my cousin had asked my aunt and, her parents and then my parents to go in on it too.
And your father knows nothing about
Well, of course he doesn't. He never knows about Christmas gifts until we open them Christmas Day.
I know.
It's not a strange thing with that man. So I think we probably have a few months covered, and I think that's what we're going to do to begin.
We'll see if she likes it.
We'll see if she likes it, and we'll see if she actually is willing to try new things in terms of, like, if they have recipes that she's not familiar with.
Well, Laura's down the street, so that helps. Mm-hmm. So Laura could always call her and see how it's going. I think that's
what we're doing. I think that's the plan.
And Laura's a really good cook.
Yes. So. But it's also, we need to make sure that she's actually eating the meals and not just squirreling them away for a rainy day.
Well, I think that's my brother's.
Yes, I think that is.
Responsibility, because my brother's there once a week.
Yeah. So, but I was very...
So anyway, she will be getting that from me, and so I felt that since this gift that I'm knitting is her birthday and Christmas present for my niece, that I really need to get that moving and get that out, whereas my mom would be getting the meals, and then if I don't finish the count cross stitch in time, I can continue with that and finish the mittens and send them off for her birthday, because she has a birthday in January.
Yep. The week before mine.
Yes. So that's the state of the art. The pressure is off now, the counted cross stitch.
Yeah. Which is good.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that, though, we did put up our Christmas tree with the
I had nothing to do with it.
I got home. I came over yesterday, and all of a sudden my father starts bringing stuff up from the basement, brings up the tree stand, which is really funny because, what was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he put the plywood at the 2 or 3 years ago, he bolted the tree stand to a sheet of plywood because it kept on tipping over. Yes, some might say that that's a sign to get a new tree. No, my father says add a plank of plywood to stabilize the base.
I think it's 2 feet by 2 feet.
Oh,
it's
it's
4
quite
square
large.
feet, yes. So it's well grounded now, and we don't want to get a new tree because this tree is a very full tree. I've looked at the trees.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I was kind of interested in a pre-lit tree, but my mother keeps telling me that the lights then burn out. They're not really that good, and then you've got a pre-lit tree that no longer lights, and you have to wrap lights around it anyway. So it's like seems.
So
useless.
then, of course, Dad goes, so who's gonna put the lights on the tree? And Mom goes, well, I'm not doing it.
No.
To which then, of course, my father starts to do it. And then he does it wrong. And so then Mom makes a comment. And so then Elizabeth gets to do the lights on the tree.
Well, you and I used to do the lights. You and I used to do the entire
tree together, yes.
Yes, for 20-some years.
I know.
You and I did that tree. So it's good for him to do the tree now.
Yes, but he doesn't do the lights correctly.
Well, he only wants to put them on the very outside edges of the branches so that it looks like a wall of lights. Which, it doesn't show off the tree to the best effect.
So we got the lights in. Got the lights done. I think it looks very good.
Yes, it looks lovely. Now he's
and the bubble lights are on.
Yes, the bubble lights. We have a lot of bubble lights.
We have 3 strands, 2 older and 1 newer.
Yes.
And then he started bringing up all the other stuff.
All the ornaments, and he's been bringing up handmade Christmas decorations. How do you feel about
from
this
different
thing?
family members?
Yes. So there was a porcelain one that my mother had made. You just stick little plastic lights in the end of the china tree.
Oh, the green one?
Yeah.
Oh, that one's not too bad.
Well, except some of the lights have fallen out and gotten lost. So then it looks
never
like
mind. Then it's
marked. So it's going out.
That's fine.
Then my Aunt Rita had made the white one. Out of safety pins, which I think is actually pretty.
It is pretty.
So he says, what do you think about this one? I said, I don't need it here, but I think perhaps if we get into an apartment, it might be a jolly thing to have. And it actually goes on the fireplace mantle. We have, however, put our Christmas tree in front of the fireplace mantle this year. So,
well, that's also because of where Dad had wanted to put the tree, and we would have had to move your light. We would have had to move a whole lot of things.
Well, yeah, because the tree is bigger than he envisions. It's a big
huge tree.
Yes.
It's a huge
8
tree.
feet tall because it almost hits the ceiling.
I was really worried that the topper was going to, not fit.
Well, it's close.
It's close.
It's close.
It's real close, y'all.
And I'm trying to get him not to throw out the little tree that we had in the dental office because I can see that at some point this tree is not going to be the one we want to put
and
up.
also this one, the top is broken.
It's drunk.
The topper ends up looking like she's a little tipsy.
The top has gotten bent.
Yeah. And we just discovered.
Or I could just give you the tree and I'll take the little tree. Wait till you move into a bigger apartment.
And then I'll just get a new tree.
Well, you'll find that they're very expensive.
They are very expensive. I don't need a 8-foot tree, though.
We only paid $110.
I don't need an 8-foot tree, y'all.
Well, you might. You just never know.
Oh, my God.
So anyway, I'm hoping he doesn't drop the little tree. But if he does, I can always buy the little tree. So we've been cleaning out the basement.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the kitchen here is not set up for a cook. It's not a cook's kitchen.
No. My grandmother did not cook.
No. So, a lot of my extra, cooking equipment that you don't use all the time is in the basement. And every time he reorganizes the basement, my stuff gets put further and further into a black hole. So this week he goes, could you work on that corner over there? This kind of indeterminate wave thing. And I went, I don't know what corner you're talking about. You mean my kitchen equipment? And he goes, no, I wouldn't never. say that your kitchen equipment had to go. So I said, well, why don't we both go down? So that's where we found I had 2 punch bowls. Most people don't need 1 punch bowl. I had 2 punch bowls. And I had 2 large coffee pots. I had a 50-cup coffee pot, the kind that our church has for coffee hour. When you've got 50 people coming over for coffee after services. I had one of those. And then I had
2 of them.
No, I had a 36-cupper.
So you had 2 larger than necessary.
Well, actually, parties have changed.
Yes.
I used to use the 36-cupper all the time.
You did.
I
will grant that. I did learn how to make coffee in that. And
yeah.
that's why I can't make coffee with anything but a Keurig now, because I think you need to have a boatload of grounds
Right. So,
in a large percolator.
and people would, at the end of the evening, they would all want coffee.
Yes.
So, but now I find that most of them don't want coffee. So
well, no, because I hate to tell you this, but y'all are old. And your friends are old, and they don't drink coffee at the end of the night anymore.
That's true. So, here I would make up all this coffee. And even if I made decaf, they were afraid of it. So
they don't trust us, because you and I don't get affected by caffeine.
Not at all. So I said, here I am with these coffees. So anyway, I was talking to our minister, and she said, yeah, bring them on over. When we can have get-togethers again, we'll be able to use them. I said, good. So we brought those over to the church today. When we went, it was an exchange. We got our wreath, and then we had the parish hall unlocked for us, and we just kind of put them in the kitchen. And no one is using that kitchen. The refrigerators are standing wide open. I mean, it's just not being used.
Well, we can't. Under regulations, we can't.
But what I'm saying is that they're safe there.
Yes.
They're clean, and then when it opens up again,
Yeah.
they're there. So that's good. I also found a spode hors d'oeuvres platter that I thought, I didn't even know I had. I hadn't remembered because I had given my spode to the 50/50 shop. Now, you might say, why are you doing that? I said, because it fractures. Even washing it in the sink and hand drying it, the finish chips off. And I showed it to the ladies in the 50/50 shop, and they went, not a problem. Well, anyway, now I have the hors d'oeuvres dish, so I need to call and find out who bought the set last year or the year before, so that I can bring her the hors d'oeuvre tray. So that will be out. I didn't even know I had it. It was back in the dark corner. And also in the corner were the collections of souvenirs from our various trips.
Oh.
So we saved the road maps.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
that's a Predmore thing.
It's helpful for the planning. You know, of course you can get a car that will GPS and tell you where you're going, but for the planning of the trip, you need to have the broader view of things.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Grandpa used to have essentially like wallpaper down there with all of the road maps of their trips.
I also find that sometimes in the foreign cars, the voice will flip and suddenly it's speaking Italian to you. So in that moment, it's nice to have the road atlas so that you can say, this is where I want to go. And some of the times, as with the Bayeux Tapestry that we went to see, it tells the story of William the Conqueror and the Battle of Hastings. So that's why this whole thing at Time Team was fascinating, because we've seen the Bayeux Tapestry, and it is about 1,000 years old, or almost 1,000 years old, made after 1066, so we're 2020. And it's a little browning, but not terribly. I think it's amazing. It was made by British needlewomen. I thought that was kind of rude. Let's make the conquered population make this tapestry. But it's absolutely stunning. And so they were talking about how if you look, historians use the Bayeux Tapestry to help them decipher some of the archaeology that they're finding in various areas around Hastings. that they think has something to do with the Battle of Hastings. So I was just in seventh heaven. It was great.
You were.
Yes, I
You
was.
were. It was pretty funny.
So now that we have the history lesson and
Yes.
the
Well, I've
travel
also been
log.
working on things.
Well, I'm sure you have.
Yes. Well, in addition to knitting those socks and working on this shawl, can you tell I haven't been working on my test knit? So the deadline got extended. I have till this coming weekend. Well, this coming Friday. So hopefully I will be able to knock this out. I probably will be able to. I just had a rough week at work, and color work takes a good amount of concentration.
Takes a little bit more time.
So I've got, this will be pattern 2, and then I'll go back, and then I'll do pattern 3, and then I do one more set of pattern 1, 2, 3. So I have 4.5 more patterns, and then the hem, and so that should be good to go.
Very nice.
But so we all remember this yarn from my niece's sweater I was going to make.
Yes.
I have now made it into 2 50-gram balls.
Socks.
And I think I'm going to knit her a pair of socks, and I think I'm going to knit her mother a pair of socks.
Wow.
But I want to go and visit them first and have her mother
Measure feet.
try on some of my different pairs of socks. Specifically the ones I just finished and the ones I will be casting on to determine what size will fit her, because her and my feet should be about the same. So I would like her to try them on, and then I will just make another pair of vanilla reversed. But that's...
So vanilla reverse does what? It's really pearl side?
It's vanilla reverse. So vanilla is the new black, is the pattern for this heel, which makes it so that you can reverse the sock inside out. You can wear the sock either with knit side out or with pearl side out, and then you don't have any weird, like, there's no real weird heel thing showing.
Right.
Like, there's no real difference in terms of the look of it. There's a little bit because of the knit two togethers, but not
So you're maintaining
enough.
the color pattern.
You're maintaining the color pattern, but you're also maintaining the fact that the sock can be reversible. So the heel doesn't have like a heel flap, so you don't have those stitches, which is funny because actually the socks I'm wearing, I put them on inside out on this foot. So the heel,
yes,
but because these are so old and felted, that's the line of the gusset that I picked, or the heel flap I picked up. But you can't, but I also, the reason you really can't tell is because I knit these with the knit side to the inside of the sole. And now they're to the outside. So they're quite felted-y. But
now is that DK weight?
this is DK.
Yeah.
This is DK. But it's just very funny to me that I've been wearing these inside out.
All day.
All day. All day. But I didn't notice, but that's also because they're older. And
really, who's going to see your socks?
No one, and that's why I'm okay with having such crazy color stripe patterning.
I love it. I love patterning on socks. It really moves the socks along.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to try a different pattern. I don't think I will, because then I can use them for my cousin to use them as size tests.
Yes.
But I do have other self-striping yarn that is in my stash that I would like to use for other things. So I think I need to, I've been on a real sweater kick. I'm still on a sweater kick. I need to get back on socks, because socks are so warm.
Socks are great this time of year.
They're so warm.
Absolutely.
It's so cold. So cold.
Today was very chilly.
My feet are cold still.
Oh,
I need slippers for the house.
Yes, you do.
No, I legitimately, for this house, I pack to come over here, and I pack extra clothing. But that's also because I live in a pre-war building. Like, my apartment building is pre-war, and I don't have control over my heat.
Right.
And it's forced heat. So, right? pretty much. It's radiator heat.
Radiator.
So
That's
it's
not
radiator.
force heat.
Sorry, it's
Force
radiator
heat
heat.
is blowing fan.
Oh, so it's radiator heat. So it's dry, and it's not me controlling it. So I have my windows open, but I can also be dying of heat with my windows open because of the heaters being on high blast.
Rises.
And I'm also on a upper floor.
Right.
So like Friday, I was walking around in a sundress in my apartment. Well, also I had a rough Thursday, and I had figured that Friday wasn't going to be much better, so I didn't want to wear pants.
Okay.
I figured you'd appreciate this story, because I woke up and I was like, well, I could just work in my PJs, because I'm working from home, and I don't have to be on video with anyone today.
Excellent.
So I could wear my PJs, but let's feel like a professional adult today, because today's going to be a rough day.
I think it's...
But I don't want to wear pants. Let's wear this cute dress.
I think it is good to get up and get dressed. In something.
Yes.
Because that makes a delineation between night and day, and it allows your PJs to air out before you put them on again in the evening. So I do think it's good to get something else on rather than just keep your PJs on all day. But, I'm very comfortable in my Lady Yak sweater.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's just...
Yeah.
So I wore this because it's incredibly warm. It's alpaca, and it's, I think, DK alpaca, maybe even worsted weight alpaca, and I love it. I was thinking, this is a great pattern. The Lady Yak pattern is a great pattern. It suits me. Mm-hmm. It really does. So I could make this in all colors.
You could.
And I love the shoulder. This is another one of the shoulders that fully fashioned, or
they slant.
So they work out really well. So yeah, I was thinking this is a sweater that I could make and have 17 of for the winter. So that would be good. So yeah, it was quite chilly, but I felt comfortable.
Except for when we're sitting by the window.
Oh yeah, the window. The house was built in 1956. There was not a real focus on insulation in 1956.
What did Dad said something earlier today? He was like, "Well, what do you want?" And I was like, "Well, I'd like heat. I'd like double pane windows. Mm-hmm. I'd like insulation." And he's like, "Oh, someone's chilly." And I was like, "Mm-hmm."
It's I think we've mentioned before, the thermostat's over in the center of the house. It read 70 degrees. Yep. By the couch, it went between 64 and 65. So, and then when the wind blows, it can get down to even colder. I mean, it can be 62, 63. Yeah. And it's not like we have the windows open. This is just the wind blowing through the house. It's an older house without insulation. What can I tell you? So anyway, we had adventures in cleaning up the business, and cleaning up the basement this week.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
So that was quite successful.
Yeah. And I've started my adventing. And
what's that?
My adventing?
Yeah.
Opening my advents and and working on my advents.
I thought you were talking about the rules for life that we're supposed to
do. No, I haven't started on that yet.
Okay, part of our book club, the appendix, apparently, in the book, has, if you want to make a rule for your life, a thoughtful, meditative rule for life, there are guidelines.
Yes.
And we're supposed to do that for homework this week. So
and read 3 chapters, which I haven't started on.
Well, I thought that's what you meant by adventing.
No.
So it's like cleaning your mind and getting ready for Christmas.
No.
So, no. Okay. Just wondering.
No.
I hope everybody's gotten their Christmas presents or their gifting in shape. I realized that I think I've gotten something for everybody. I picked up something for you. I ordered something from you today. I hope you're going to like it.
You didn't have to give me anything else,
I saw this and I said, I think you'll like this. It's not very expensive.
Is it earrings?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I bought myself a pair of earrings yesterday that I really shouldn't have, but I needed them. They're wire silhouettes of bacon and eggs.
Well, this is something else that I think you'll really like.
Sorry, the way you said that was like exactly how my mind was when I saw these earrings, and I was like, oh no, I need these.
Well, I saw this, and I said, I think, and I actually got one for myself.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
So I've ordered a few things for your dad.
Oh, that's good. I've ordered
I measured his foot in his sleep. You did. But then I realized he'll only wear white cotton socks. He has enough problems with his feet.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would wear.
I don't think so.
Wool socks. I mean, I could make him white wool socks, but he's also very warm. He doesn't notice the chill in the house.
He doesn't.
So.
And when he does, he just wears his socks with his shoes, and he puts on a jacket. He doesn't.
He puts on a fleece.
Yeah.
And he's fine. So. As much I'd be thrilled to make him wool socks, he wouldn't wear them.
It's like when he doesn't wear a hat when it's cold outside until it's actively snowing or if it's below 0 degrees.
Well, now it's when it's below 15.
Oh, okay. He's old.
Age is showing.
But like I don't understand that. My heavy winter coat came out November 1st, so.
I actually haven't worn my heavy winter coat yet.
You haven't gone anywhere significant.
I've been out to PT. I didn't
but you get very warm when you are moving around.
Yes, I do. I had to take my sweater off downstairs when I was doing my exercises.
Yes.
So I haven't, but if it keeps up, like today was 37 degrees.
Yeah.
When we went out for wreaths.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's if we start walking down at Jones Beach, which my knee is doing so much better, I think we'll start doing that.
Good.
I will wear my winter coat down there. What?
We could invite Cassie to go for a walk with us on Christmas Day.
Is she going to be here?
Hopefully.
Oh,
fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
Yeah. That would be fun. That would be very much fun. That would be outside.
Exactly. Outside and masked, and we wouldn't have to worry about it. Like, I just miss her. Well, it's very funny. I was talking, it's my best friend from high school, and I was talking to my boyfriend, and I am planning on still driving down to see him, and I had told him, which caused a whole lot of agita with the father, but we're not going there. So I told him we had been planning for me to either.
What do you think about this? Boy, I have no thoughts whatsoever.
I think they're great thoughts.
I drove from North Carolina up to Boston. So getting in the car and just taking off, I think it's a great idea.
I know. The fact that I had a book that came off of my hold list, but I wasn't gonna. It's 24 hours approximately long, which is about both the there and back. But I wasn't going to be able to have it for the whole trip. I wasn't even it was going to have to go back before then. So I deferred my taking it, and so hopefully I'll get it the week right before or the week of Christmas, so that I'll have it.
That would be good.
That's what I'm hoping with how all of this should work out. But it was very funny because he's like, "Well, what are you sure?" I'm like, "I'll figure it out. I will figure it out."
I made a supreme sacrifice. I offered to go with her.
She did, and then she found boats on the Georgia coast that she could look at and take the car further.
Anything to help.
Which, of course, Father was not okay with. We were perfectly good with this idea, but he was not having it.
Oh, no, and his foot was starting to act up.
I feel so bad that it's going to cause him pain, but it's how his anxiety manifests.
It does. Exactly.
It is. I know. It's his physical manifestation of his anxiety.
Yes.
I know. So I was telling my boyfriend that I'll probably drive down the day after Christmas, not Christmas Day, also so that I can see Cassie. And he was like, "It's okay. I know you love her more." And I was like, "I don't love her more. She's just my sister." And he goes, "Oh no, I understand I'm second fiddle. It's okay."
Okay.
Which is not the case. But there was an article that was really interesting. there was a very interesting article a few weeks ago I read, or who knows with time these days, actually how long it was, but it was about the degradation of the social acceptability of close platonic relationships.
I think that's terrible.
Yes, and it actually came about in the 1940s and 50s due to the rise of the, nuclear family and that propagandist kind of situation.
Instead of it takes a village.
Yeah, instead of it takes a village, and also that your romantic partner should be your everything partner.
Yeah.
Which was something that came up in the 1940s and 50s. But now, of course, we're moving back to more of, what was the case in, before then, where you're realizing that your romantic partner doesn't have to be your everything partner. Right. Can be your life partner, can be the person you share your life with, but
your dad's pretty funny.
My dad is very funny, but my dad is not going to go to knitting conventions with you.
No.
Right. So things like that. So that's that was
but
funny.
I wouldn't
shared
have
that
a problem
with him.
going for long trips on a boat with him.
No. I would not have that trouble with Ben, except for his sometimes seasickness.
Yes, that could be a problem.
But so that was just a funny thing that had come about recently. So it would be good to see her and to do that, and we could go for a walk. That would be great.
We could.
I think we've rambled on enough.
I think I've changed from purling to knitting.
You've
I did.
reversed. Oh, good job.
Yes.
Good job.
Happy to help.
Well, while Mom fixes that, I think it's time to, well, I don't think we have any ends to weave in, really. I have one on my sock.
I left an ends for the shoulders, and now I'm not going to need them, so I can weave in those ends. I will tink back here and get to the point where I start change from purling to knitting.
Yeah.
And continue on my sleeves. Hopefully I'll have completed sleeves to show you the next weekend. That will be so exciting. We had nothing come in the mail.
Yeah, nothing has come in the... did anything come in the mail this week? Oh, I had knitting needles that came in the mail, but they've
had a slight problem.
They've had a slight problem. Father will help me fix it, and
that's next.
In the meantime, I will also probably borrow a pair of your needles to keep motivation going.
I want to report on the our garden.
Your arrow garden?
Well, the arrow garden is doing really well. It's growing the lettuce, and the lettuce I'm harvesting every 3 days to have a salad. So that is excellent. One of the video that, were you here when the video was on yesterday? The people from one of the boat companies were talking about how they have now gone and bought a 50-foot boat, and she has 3 arrow gardens.
No, I think I came home during that time because you said you had wanted Dad to watch it with you.
Yes,
was it
I
that
did.
one?
That one.
I came home in the middle of that.
One of the new boat owners has 3 arrow gardens, one for tomatoes, one for lettuce, and one for spices. And I agree, the arrow garden is actually doing quite well. It keeps time. So it turns on at 8 o'clock in the morning, it turns off at 11 o'clock at night, and its plants are growing really well. The one that we had gotten earlier first, it's a little psychotic. Its clock doesn't keep the right time, so its growing thing it starts earlier in the morning and shuts off earlier in the evening, so it's going around the 24-hour clock.
Well,
and it's growing tomatoes, which are not ripening. So now I have paper bags, so we can put an apple in the paper bag, and we can take some of the green tomatoes off, and we can see if we can ripen them. So I will go downstairs and do that right now.
I didn't realize that was
it's a thing.
Part of what you were very excited for.
Very excited. It's growing tomatoes like crazy. They're just not ripening.
Father had been trying to verbally antagonize them ripening. Intimidating them into ripening.
Say, look at the the lettuce. The lettuce is doing so well. What is wrong with you tomatoes? Come on, you can't let the lettuce win.
It was very funny. It was very funny. Because obviously that did not work out so well.
So we continue remaining our bubble.
Mm-hmm.
I've got no plans to go. I've got no plans to go anywhere. Looking forward to getting the vaccine. But I don't think there's anything else going on. I will continue to go through my sweater drawer and weed out the sweaters that
You don't wear.
I really don't wear. And then I'm going to tack closets.
Well, fun.
And throw out, well, like the dresses, my work dresses. I don't need them. So they could also go to the 50/50 shop. Honestly, I haven't been in that closet all year. I could take almost every one of those. Because there's some that are really nice for the boat. They pack well, they're comfortable. So maybe 6 of them can stay. A couple of the ones that I bought for weddings.
I was going to say, your formal ones, I'd wait a little bit, because you've got a few more weddings probably coming up.
But other than that, I don't need the rest of them. So that can get cleaned out.
I was going to say, because you've probably got a family wedding next year, and at least for the other side.
Yeah, but I don't need to keep all this other stuff.
No.
So lots of cleaning out now that my husband is saying it. Now that we're home, and we're looking at things, I'm like, meanwhile, he worked out of the house. We can clean out the basement and do all this other kind of stuff. Whatever knocks your socks, that's fine. So anyway, you're right. We rambled on. Warbled was where I was going with this. Yes. Enough. We're so glad to see you. I hope everybody's doing well. Good luck with getting ready for the holidays. Hanukkah starts Thursday night. Go Hanukkah.
I'm very excited. One of the women who does virtual craft night with me is gonna, for the last night, I think, is gonna wait until we all log on so we can all do the Hanukkah with them, with her family.
Oh, nice!
The lighting of the menorah. And I haven't been invited to do that in a while, and I enjoyed that growing up. And since we had all been sharing our Advent calendars, and she also has Advent calendars, but we'd been sharing all that, and so she was saying, well, are we having another one of these during Hanukkah? And we ended up that we are, so she's gonna hold off until we all log on to do it, which will be really nice.
That'd be great.
Yeah. It'll be fun, because some of the women had said that they hadn't done that before. So I've been trying over the last week to look at some of the positives that have come out of this year, and I do think
the book club.
Well, the book club, and I was going to say the unexpected opportunities for learning and growth, and so.
Well, it's been a wonderful time to have the need done.
And connection. I don't know if I would have been as tenacious about making sure that this virtual craft night that I do with another group actually happened and happens as regularly as it does. Also, a few of my friends and I, we've kept in touch a lot better this year now. And unfortunately, it's because of COVID, but I am thankful that it has occurred because I had missed them. So, yes, and speaking of holiday gifts, you had mentioned you were almost done. I just realized I should kind of get to finishing those.
Yes. Well, I'm working on it.
You're working on it. I have to figure out what I'm doing, because maybe next week I'll tell you what sort of things my brain is telling me are great ideas to make for people. We'll see. We'll see if we have time.
You yelled at me.
Yeah. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm waiting until next week to share it with y'all and her.
Okay.
So, bye, y'all.